Well, I was honestly hoping to have something else ready to go for this week, but unfortunately what I wanted to get working didn't want to get working, so looks like we're going to be doing this now. Which, I mean, not bad. I do like Shadowrun, but, you know. Das Gleisenhaus, hotel and nightclub, crown jewel of the Drogen Kip, the filthiest keys in Berlin. Opening the door to the ground level dance club is like bashing your head into the wall of sound. Flashing lights stab your eyes, and the air is perfumed with cheap. Guess not. Music out here on the floor is way too loud for comfort. The scene going down at the bar is even louder. The dealer on duty stands impassively behind the bar. A desperate looking young woman is pleading with him, apparently to little effect. Alright, Silk, I'm going to explain how this works to you one more time. I get my cash, you get your cram. No cash, no cram, period. But I need it, Kroner, come on. Her words come out in a desperate whine. Pale skin, sunken eyes, and a trembling lip all point to the early symptoms of withdrawal. And I have cash, I totally do. It's up in my room, but you guys won't let me up there to get it. Hotels under new management, beautiful. You don't have a room anymore. Whatever was up there, you might as well forget about it. But that was all I had, and you know I have to get right soon. Well, maybe you could work out a trade. Cram for services. Services? Understanding slowly shows on the young woman's face. Her eyes go wide. Come on, Kroner. You gotta be freaking kidding me. Want the cram or not? She sets her jaw, look of disgust on her pallid face. Ain't gonna happen, chummer. Not now, not ever. The bartender shrugs. They give you about half an hour before the shake set in. When that happens, you'll know where to find him. He turns to another customer with a smirk, leaving the desperate young woman crumpled against the bar. Silk looks up at you. A look of abject misery plastered across her face. Leave me alone, okay? I've got problems to deal with. Sounds like your news management stole your property. Answer some questions for me, and I'll help you get it back. Really? That'd be incredible. Her lips struggle upward with this facsimile of a smile. I really need that money, and I left some things in there to, you know, personal stuff. Well, I can be very discreet. Should be up in room 304. That's where me and Nadja and Sarah were staying until, well, you know. I'll be waiting right here until you get back down. Any idea how I talked to him about getting up into the hotel? You talk to Frank. He's the floor manager. He'd have an elevator key. She points to the north end of the club. He's over there on the VIP balcony. See that greasy jackass in the oversized suit? The one drooling all over the table dancer? That's Frank. What can you tell me about this gang? Bad guys. I mean, like, real bad guys. The thing that used to run this place wasn't all bad. They kept the cram flowing and the prices weren't too high. They never hassled me as long as I kept buying. The new guys killed them all and they took over. Now I'm stuck dealing with some assholes like Kroner. The floor manager, Frank, had a thing for my girl, Sarah. He was always coming on to her, no matter how many times he told him no. I haven't seen her since the takeover, but he won't stop asking me about her. Guy's real creep. From what I think of, I can still clear the new guys when I can. She steals a glance over her shoulder at Kroner, a scowl on her face. Shouldn't have to tell you why. Have you heard of a guy named Green Winters? No, I don't think. Oh wait, yeah, I bumped into him a few days ago. I remember because his name sounded kind of like a chewing gum. Yeah, that checks out. I think I remember seeing him leave, so he's probably holed up in his room. I'm pretty sure that there's still some people up there, the ones the gang just missed. I hear they locked themselves in. What can you tell me about the layout of the hotel? Well, it's a nice enough place, you know, for a factory. Let's see. Well, okay, the second floor is a security station, lots of high-tech stuff up there. I heard stories about the penthouse level. Something about a sealed vault. There's supposed to be something real valuable there, but nobody knows what it is. Doesn't stop them from talking about it, though. You've been very helpful. Sure to show you back with this stuff, okay? I really, really need it. What we got over here? a bottle of scotch from your color, you'd guess it counts 50% water. But I wouldn't say it's expensive scotch, now is it? Been here before, what can I get you? Looking for a guy named, calls himself Green Winters. You know him? Think so. Might be staying upstairs. What can you tell me about him? Nothing, just someone with a handle. Checked in about a week ago. Still here, I think. Now, you want something or you just want to waste my time? The conversation with Silk over there. Hey, she wants her cram, she's got to pay. Same as everybody else. Boss might like to know that you're jamming customers in exchange for their merch. What do you think? Okay, pal, here's the deal. The guards here, they don't discriminate. If I call them, they're going to kill everyone in this room other than me. So unless you want to see the bodies start dropping all over this club, you'll back the hell off. Alright. Kind of a dick. In the corner of the remodel, stim junkie, all wild eyes and nervous energy. She greets you with a smile. What? Hey, good looking, you want to play? What? Brother, you got some cram, right? Just love a lady that's willing to share. Sorry, I'm not carrying any. No, I'm not gonna get your cram. All right. Let's talk to Frank here. Hey, Frank! Been to the floor manager's too expensive for this neighborhood and too baggy to be his suit. Is a name tag Frank. What you need? Reluctantly, he shifts his attention away from the elvish dancer swaying in front of him. Sarah needs your elevator key. She says it's important. Sarah, she needs me, something from me. That's right. If you helped her out, it sounded like she'd be grateful. I can't leave the floor on duty. I can open the elevator back up. Although, can you let her know? I can make that happen. All right. Frank rubs his hands and barely contained look in his eyes. He flashes a small remote out of his pocket, presses the button. The elevators open up. When you see Sarah, you tell her that I'm glad she's okay, right? And make sure she gets that it's me helping her. Sure thing, Frank. You know, this guy dances kind of like me, and that's, you know, saying something. Whatever seems mechanically sound, that's about all it has going for it. Candy wrappers and used syringes littered the floor, and the handrails are inexplicably sticky. It would appear that the cleanliness of this is a high priority to the hotel staff. Place out floor by floor. Wartung. 103, 4, 106. Here, I figured there'd be something in the bathroom. Section wall seems to buckle under its own weight. The aged wallpaper and the lines that rest in the hallway has long since peeled away, revealing the structures of the wall underneath. While the underlying structure is reinforced with steel support struts, you can see signs of rust and metal fatigue everywhere. The entire wall looks like it could give way if it were force were applied. Well, alright. Controller checks the wall, and the weak wood starts to give away with a crunch. Well, this place looks nice. Searching through the clutter on the desk, you find a small, simple leather-bound journal. Leafing through the pages, the book reveals only a couple of entries, each of them scrawled in frantic, barely legible handwriting with crude doodles filling up the margins. I mean, this sounds like, you know, something I would do. Okay. I know Eddie's up to something. Like, I heard him today talking to that guy who works in the kitchen, asking him where the cleaning supply was at. I seen Eddie's room. The dude's never cleaned a day in his life. Gonna follow him tomorrow and find out what his deal is. Maybe he's just selling mouthwash to hobos at the block down the old bus depot. Ha 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 ha. I knew it. Fraggin' Eddie. I saw him yesterday. I was up on the 3rd floor causing the vending machine down here. The vending machine down here was out of soy calf. So he came up and went over to the out-of-order latrine. He punched the code. Didn't know I was watching him. Well, I ain't so stupid. He put in 2478, and I'm gonna stay up and find out what he's doing up there. Alright, 2478. Watch me forget that by the time I get up there. Access safe. Well, there's a big poster on the wall that says Chicago, so let's try Chicago. Chicago. Alright. There's nothing going on here. Alright, well, looks like we're right into it then. Boss. Dang! Just exploded. There goes the heavy muscle. Dick! for Sargoon! Aha! Aha! Stop shooting me! Come on. Drag nabbit. Well, that didn't go the way I was hoping it would go. Maintenance key fob. Well, that'll come in handy. Admin services. Never mind. Oh boy. $101. Maybe that key fob can help me do something down here. Yeah. I was kind of hoping for something more. This guy was the guy that did the 2478 guy. 2478. Nah. Third floor. Do not open. Well, oh! That, Yeah. Yeah. Giant scorpion monster. Good reason not to open a door. His food is in the crisper drawer. See you next week, Steven. So it's just that guy's pet. Alright. This really opens up, doesn't it? Floor on the end of the room beginning to cave. The trickle of light spills up through the cracks in the floorboards. With a little force, you could probably have opened the big hole enough to drop down on the second floor from here. Smash the boards and jump down. Let's do this. Please don't hurt me, I'm just a line cook. The cook's darting eyes are wide open, and behind them you see pure animal terror. If you let me go, I won't tell anyone, I promise. What are you so afraid of? Wait, you're not those guys out there? Well, I am. I just thought... Thought what? Thought you were one of them, you know, the gangs that took over and shot up the place. I work... He gets himself... It is, I worked for the previous owners. When the shooting started, I shot myself in here. They, whoever they are, haven't figured out how to override my keys yet. It's been a day and a half, and I don't know how much longer I can stay in here. Tell me anything you can about this place. I am, okay, there's some sort of chop shop up in room 401, like low-level street dock stuff. I had to deliver room service there one day, and we were too short-staffed, and when I saw that they opened the door, scared the junk out of me. People hooked up to tubes and stuff. Door code was 5870, if you want to take a look. It was the stuff by the sink. That's the head chef, Felix. They took a hit to the chest when they raided this floor. I thought I could stop him bleeding him, but the floor is his gaze and 4 feet. I couldn't. You're right next to a walk-in fridge. Don't you think it'd make more sense to drag the body in there than to leave it under the sink? Yeah, that'd probably... He glances over the body again and swallows hard. That'd probably be a good idea. It's already starting to smell. You have to help me out of here. Won't you just leave me here to die, are you? Took care of the guys outside. You should be able to make a run for it. I mean... Really like that one idea if you got food and water, you might not just stay here. It's probably a better idea, but... Well, there you go. Really? You actually went up there and got my things? And you didn't just walk off with them? Wow, thank you. You said you were going up there. I didn't think. I just... Thank you. Hey. Grandmother's Retro Shake. I know a place that can help get you clean if you're interested. Whoa, who, said that? I wanted to shake anything. She gives you a sour look. Look, around you. Look what you see. Of course you don't. My life is better on cram. Why would I ever want to stop? Pointing at Croner. Do you want to wind up working for him? I'll tell you something happened. That ain't happening. Maybe not, but in order to keep feeding your habit, you're eventually going to wind up doing something that you regret. Trust me on this. Okay, I just don't need the help. I just don't want it. This looks where her voice sounds unsure from she's fidgeting. You can tell that she's struck a nerve. Project. Do you know what happens with long-term cram abuse? It's a new drug. There are no long-term abusers. And besides, the study is a drug. It's not like the beetle or anything. It won't kill you. Cram is an amphetamine. Keep it up and your teeth are going to rot out of your head, and by that point you'll be too manic to care, assuming that your heart doesn't give out first. Well, she runs her tongue over her teeth and weird-looking eyes. I hadn't heard that before. I'm not surprised. Like you said, it's a new drug, but what you don't know can still kill you. All at once something changes in Silk's face. She averts her gaze and pauses for a long moment. Her sweaty hands clench and unclench. Finally, she clears her throat and looks back up at you. What you said, it makes a lot of sense. You're right, I need help. I'll take you up with that offer. You try heading to the crew bazaar. I'm sure there's someone there who could help you. Ear cuts in, her voice is soft. Samuel Brackenbauer. He's a community organizer in the crew bazaar. You can get the help that you need. I'll do that. Thank you. I will. Thank you. Hey, gotta help a fellow Tusker out, I guess I can't say that. I'm not a orc, but hey, not important. So about time I left this place behind. If I ever see another Croner again, it'll be too soon for me. Glad I got help. Take care of yourself. All right. To look that one up. How was I ever supposed to guess that? Alright, Ares Predator Smart Link. Every class is considered primary heavy pistol of the streets. Has Smart Links for increased accuracy. So I'm gonna send it to my stash. Alright, so I think I did everything on the third floor. One last check around. Can I do anything with this room? I don't know, maybe I'm just wasting my time. Wasting my time. Alright. Alright, fourth floor. Ah, crap. What was this code? 5870. Oh boy. Whoosha! Whoosha! That don't look good. Little... No! Ah! Well, you're an assistant, huh? Well, screw you, organ legger. Ah, death. There we go. That does not look good. Door. Open. Why was it such an involved process? All right. I'm gonna go back down, check that other floor, see if there's anything I can do. Trying that, I'll just look it up and go from there. Pass. Word. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. Admin? Hey, what do you know? View all current guest notes. Room 304, current tenants. Silk Schroeder. Sarah Newman, Naj Bauer. Current tenant, Green Winters. 405. Guy in the master suite on 4 asked if his room code to be changed again. Paranoid son of a bitch. Anyway, dude's been renting one of the biggest rooms out, so I guess I couldn't complain too much. New code is 1989. Schroeder, cram habits 2 inhales a day, preferred customer. Newman, bliss habit 1 pack a day. Note to sales team, keep the pressure up, so signs of becoming preferred customer. Bauer, recreational multi-drug user, preferred customer. Alright. I just gotta remember what room it said he was in. Well, that doesn't look good. Screen is eerily familiar. The dead man is still jacked into a smoldering computer. His face contorted into a mask of pain. Pure blue smoke spills from his data jack. I don't know why it took me. I had to say it that way. Like Monica. And there's something else. The man's outline is wrong. It takes a moment for the realization to sink in. His back is bent at an impossible angle. Jesus! Looks like he convulsed enough to break his own spine. Ah! Is that even possible? I mean, the proof's in the pudding, isn't it? Eager kneels down beside the corpse. Beside the corpse. I don't know why I said besides. Bending to peer at his face. Matches the description of Longabus is Green Winters. She straightens, glancing back over the body before returning her attention to you. This is what happened to Monica? I suspect it would have. We jacked her out in time to prevent it. Too bad I didn't have a buddy to jack him out. He'd been just fine, right, Eager? Maybe. Eager takes another glance at the smoldering corpse, and then can see the doubt growing in her eyes. I don't know. Leaning to inspect the body, you find smears of blood and carpet under the right man's arm, moving her arm around. The number written across the floor, 91612. Use your PDA to take a hollow pick of the number and then the body, then step away. Hanging on the wall is a large, gaudily framed painting in an impressionist landscape, inexplicably rendered in splotches of cheap acrylic. The nameplate of the frame reads Harz Mountains 2011. Just looking for a safe now. Large, gaudily framed painting of unimaginable still life of some kitchen object sitting on a table. Small lock installed in the wall behind the painting, a keypad, I have a terrible memory. Yep, I thought. Nine 91612. Inside the safe, you find a bunch of old, well-worn media discs. The words, "Watch me," have been hastily written on the back of the topmost disc. Inspect the discs. This labeled "Watch me" looks almost new. The others are clearly much older. Many of them are more badly scratched. The last two discs in the bundle are stuck together, and when you try to pry them apart, the reusable surface of the bottom disc peels away. Yeah. Which is to say, if the hereby near video phones begins to ring. Hello? Hey there, Chief. Don't hang up. I got a prescription for you. I'm listening. You probably noticed that this building is under new management, right? And judging from the fresh corpses that I've seen strewn all over the hotel, I'm going to guess you don't like the new guys any better than I do. Wow, talk about the world's worst heads hair facial hair combo award. Well, I'd like to make you an offer. You help me cover my escape, and I'll get you to the secure vault on top of the floor, belonging to the leader of the gang that used to run this place. Trust me, it's still secure. I set up security protocols myself. The last decker they brought in to crack at it came back out on a stretcher. They haven't found out too many volunteers since then. So you're a decker then? That'd be an understatement, chum. More accurate to say I'm the decker. I'm in these parts at least. My handle in the Matrix is Blitz. Maybe you heard of me. Nope. It's okay. I run pretty rare field. I run in pretty rare fields, rarefied circles. So yes, rare field circuses. I cannot talk. They used to run this hotel. Call themselves Schwartz Herzen, and they pretty much ran Drogen Cape until a few days ago. They weren't a pleasant bunch, but they were better than the jackasses that got here now. Etiquette gang. Still something about this you're not telling us. The pause from this end of the end line said, yeah, what's that? You set up the registered security for the vault upstairs. You must have a member of the Schwartz Herzen. They're not the kind of job that this street gang would hire to a contractor. They'd use someone they knew they could trust. Yeah, okay, I was a member for a while. But the old boss got himself killed in a fight, and his second-in-command took over. That was when the new guys moved in. I guess they sensed weakness, and the Schwartz Herzen were still disorganized from the transition. Anyway, long story short, I don't consider myself a member anymore. I just want to get out and do my own thing. Fair enough. Good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, you want to clear the safe out or what? Where do I meet you? 505 on the penthouse floor. Come rendezvous with me and I'll take you to the vault. All right. No, that's right in there. Sorry, go in there again. Top floor penthouse suite. It's 505 all of a sudden, not, alright, whatever, I don't care. Psst, over here. Alright, chummer, what you got for me? Knew you'd come. Always been a good judge of character. Since we're meeting in person, I'd probably introduce myself. Blitz, Decker Extraordinaire at your service. A pleasure. Well, just around the corner. Once we get there, I can unlock it with a few clicks of the keypad. Blitz offers you something between a smile and a smirk. Built myself a back door when I wrote the security system. Never hurts to be careful. Sounds good, let's go. Alright. Repair kit. That stash. Oh boy. Hiding. Haha. Take that, you enforcer. Seriously? Alright, sniper rifle lady, let's see what you can do. Ooh, there we go. Got him! Again! There we go, yeah! Yeah, that's what I expected from somebody that's running around using, you know, knives. Here we go. Dep. Wait, when did that get installed? Okay. Oh Jesus, we got a giant gun of doom and one of the war toys from the movie Toys. All right. Crap. Ow. Is this gonna work? Well, this thing's just gonna ruin my day. Destroy. There we go. Let's see if we can. Reload. Ah. Really? What's this stupid thing have? Hit it. Hit this guy at least. Ah! Really? One health, one health left, one. That works. It's like that panel that I couldn't interact with stash. Formula Jazz. Renewing. Dash. Should appears to be all broken, it can seem to hover in place. Well, let's take it. Nothing else going on in here. Let's go out of this place. I hate it. Ground floor. Hey, thanks, assistants. Can't tell you how happy I am to leave this place behind. I happen to help. Must have been terrible to be stuck in here. Well, it was no picnic, I'll tell you that much. So you wouldn't happen to need a Nova Hot Decker, would you? Because I can suddenly find myself unemployed. As it happens, we could use a Decker, yes. Excellent, fantastic, I promise you won't regret it. What do you do? Your team makes its way back to the nearest U-Bahn station. 20 minutes later, you're on the return trip to the crew bazaar, leaving the filthy Drogon cape far behind. But with the image of Green Winter's twisted corpse continues to linger in your mind, you lift up one disc that pulled from the Winter safe to the light and reflection in the distance of the surface. With luck, you'll soon have the answers that you've been looking for. As you lead your team through the shadows, your companions will continue to develop and learn new combat skills. Clicking the icon in the lower right-hand corner of the screen will open to the crew advancement menu. With this icon highlighted as one more, your companions will be eligible to learn new combat skills. At each of your advancement levels, you may choose one or more two possible combat skills for each of your runners. Choose wisely. Alright, well... Gonna go ahead and save that before I choose. Alright. The sniper's rifle ability that increases accuracy by 30% for one shot. Cooldown costs 2 AP, cooldown 3. Shotgun ability that imbalances targets, making them easier to hit by subsequent attacks. I'm sniper. Blade specialist. Yeah. Razor specialist, the ability to fire around. And nothing for you. Alright. Hey, Sam. We'll come by here. It's on your approach. Your orc turns your face. He wears a severe expression, but there is kindness in his eyes. Guten Tag, Elf. Can I help you? How's Silk doing? Yeah, she mentioned that you had sent her here. I don't know what you told her, Kassira, but whatever you said, it worked. Silk's determination was truly inspiring. The cram habit is a difficult thing to beat, but I don't doubt that she will make it. Words are things I cannot say because I am the dumb. Morit Platz. Alles Kramer. Well. Something about the young elf behind the counter makes you breathe, your breath catch in your chest. She's lovely to look at, but strange. It's a strange kind of beauty. Her eyes are large and luminous and impossibly green. As she looks up at you, you can see that her irises are flecked with iridescent gold. Hello, welcome to Algernarn's. Perhaps I can help you with something. She smiles up at you, her eyes fixed on you as your curious feeling weightlessness fills your chest. It feels as though you're floating in a warm, calm sea. A gentle current pulls you closer to absinthe, and the sensation is pleasant. As you drift, the golden specks in your eyes begin to move. Look away! Marshalling your strength, you manage to divert your gaze, breaking absinthe's stare. All at once, the floating sensations dissipate, and your consciousness snaps back to its normal state. What was that? My fault and my apologies. Sometimes when I daydream, I bring others along for the ride. It was unintentional, yes, but there are no harm done, correct? You'll be fine. I have money and I need magic. That's care to divert her gaze. You'll want to talk to Algernon. This is the establishment. He can help you. Now, if you excuse me, I have work to do. But you're the lady behind the counter! Greetings, young elf. The elf's voice is smooth as silk and rich as clotted cream. Alright. Something about him instantly puts you at ease. I'm Algernon Halfdream, the owner of this establishment. In my shop, you will find only the finest magical paraphernalia. Selling your buying, show me your inventory. First off, we're going to sell that. And that, because I don't like it. Drugs are bad. Alright. Actually, we're definitely getting that apprentice outfit, because that just sounds nice. V-pins. Alright, outfits, no spells. Monoball. Jiggy with it. Alright. Lightning bolt. See what, and probably get more karma from turning the quest in, so I'll go do that. Station and mission computer, the command center of your team's operations, and your last link to the memory of Monica Schaefer. Her thoughts and words live in the machine. At times, it's easy to forget that she's gone. Spay data. Can I get some data? Alright. Where to find elves? Oh yeah, is there elf clubs or bars in the downtown area? I really want to meet one. They're just so beautiful. Maybe you can get dancing. Do elves like dancing? Alex Tusk. There's one on Torch Drive. Bring a bouquet of roses. Elves love a romantic. The elf club I know are members only due to creepy groupies like you. Not really appealing when a guy is only after them for the shape of their ears. Ruby. Client screwed me. Benno is a fraud. I broke my first rule. Always get full payment up front. Left me hanging for 50% of the cash if I completed the job. I'm sure he'll have changed his name by the time this post goes up. Male elf, brown hair, gold eyes. Looked like to be in his mid-30s. Be careful when you work out there. Pro shot. Never thought I'd see you admit to a mistake on here. Thanks for the heads up. I'll keep my eyes open. We'll forward any info that comes across. You should look to collect from that guy. Maelstrom. Pro shot. Send me your surveillance footage. Is this your man? Blitz. Sure is. Nice one. I'll split the take with you if the lead pulls out. Good to find out there's some honor amongst runners. Pro shot. Alright. New messages? Jobs directory. I feel like I should be able to, like, put the auto injector and the drug formula on there, you know? and those expressions harder than it is before when he speaks, his voice is grim. Eager has told me of Green Winter's death. She said that he died in the same manner as Monica did. Shouldn't have done that. Speaking for the team is my job, not hers. Was not a pretty sight. I know that you and Eager have had your differences. I will tell you that she is badly shaken by the sight of Winter's body. She also mentioned that you found something Winter's safe, package full of very old discs. May I see them? Sure. Good God. Gingerly, Ansel lifts a disc from the bundle and holds it up to the light. Slowly, he begins to turn it in his hand, causing the rainbow pattern to shimmer across surfaces. I haven't seen one of these since the day I was a boy. Since there was a boy. Ah! The day I was a boy. Wow. This is a DVD-RW. A DVD-RW. Wow. A data storage media from the mid-2000s. Wow, I haven't even heard about those in a while. Actually, never mind, I have a stack behind me, which probably says a lot about me. Amazed that Winter was able to find a device that could play it. Do you know how we can read these things? Puts the DVD in his hand and quickly inspects the others. First disc that I looked at might be readable, the others are damaged, some severely so. I have my doubts about them. For now, let's concentrate on the undamaged disc. There's a little shop outside the Data Haven. Talk to the proprietor, mail it Horley. She might be able to help tell her, but to put the cost of the devices on my account. I'm on it. Dwarvish tech vendor smiles at you with practiced ease. Her almond eyes twinkle with the glare from the dozens of trid screens. She speaks in a clipped, heavily accented German. Welcome to the Data Haven. Can I help you with something? I acquired this drone. You get it up and running again? Probably I might be able to do a bit of doing, though. I love these old corp drones. Can't make anything. But anyway, it's on the house. Leave it in your hands. There's something else that I wanted to talk with you with. Looking for something that can play back a DVD-RW. Really. This is old tech. Very old. In fact, just a moment, I will go look. She turns and rummages through a bin of obsolete components at the back of her stall. Yes, here we go. The dwarf wrestles a mid-sized flat-screen display out of the bin. The display has old enough hookups with connections to a DVD player. RCA, you know. Vintage! Wow, RCA. Ugh. The player itself, though, this I do not have. You may want to try your luck down at the junkyard. There is a scavenger there, a primitive man with a crude disposition. If anyone here in the crew bazaar can help you find a DVD player, he can. But he will almost certainly attempt to overcharge you for it. She takes a deep breath and smiles at you. But you're not here for gossip. Shall we conclude our business? I can give you the display for, say, 200 Newen. Paul Amsel said charge it to his account. Ah, very well. I'll have it packaged up and delivered to Harry Amsel straight away. Best of luck finding your DVD reader. Wish you well. And you could just... never mind. Little stout man looks up from whatever his old tech he's tinkering with to squint at you through the thick old-fashioned glasses. He pushes them up with an old oil-stained finger and he straightens up to nod at you. He speaks with a gruff but well-meaning tone, heavily accented in German tonally. Guten Tag. What can I do for you? Militus tells me you're the man to speak to about DVDs. The little shrew sent you my way, huh? The wonders never cease. Well, introductions are in order, I suppose. Shradi Buckman at your service. The old man raises a grimy hand in salute. Needs something salvaged, some old computer opponents. Villicent. I'm indeed your man. Wonderful. How about a DVD player? Let's see here. I got that somewhere that'll work for her. Yeah? Schreider rummages through a junk heaped up on the table behind him. A few seconds later, he snatches a battered plastic Eisengen-shaped from the pile. I feel like I should know what that word is, but I'm too dumb to think about it right now. Ah, here we go. An old Korean player that I dug up last week. 2010 model. A real beauty. I don't think there's still a DVD players in 2010. I think it was... Anyway. Fixed her up and got her running, but without any discs to read, I've mostly been using her as a paperweight. Sounds like what I'm looking for. How much do you want for it? Friday glances back at the DVD player and the rueful expression. Well, I'll admit, I'm a little loath to part with her. There's plenty of folks out there who'd really appreciate an older player such as this, and I don't know what your intentions are for it. I suppose I could give the time and trouble to put her back together. I mean, we'd hard for say about 500 Yuan. I'm in cash right now. Could I offer you something in trade? Tell you what, a few months ago I had we'll call it a difference of opinion with the Barak's-Ghazi fellow from the soy cash shop. He let me into his establishment since I'd sell my mother for a decent cup of coffee. Can you give me a cup of coffee, the real stuff, not the fake junk, and I'll give you the DVD player. Sound like a deal? As it happens, I have a mug right here. Ah, thank you. Well, I guess it wasn't a waste of time after all that I got that. Yep, the real stuff, all right. Friday gingerly picks up the ancient device from the table and presses it into your hands. Plastic is scuffed and worn, and it rattles a bit when you move it. Give her some good use, okay? Can do, Shroddy. Can do. You know, I was just thinking of going over to him. I wonder if there's somebody I can give this coffee for. Yes, coffee for. Kind of want to know what's going on with this little brazier, I guess we'll call it. Although, to be fair, I mean, it's probably me they went to get that DVD player, because I would probably still using a DVD player in this day and age. If I, was alive and not dead. Seems Ansel has assembled the team in your absence to stand in a group around the old display that you had Mellet deliver. On their faces you can see excitement and apprehension, curiosity and dread. Have you procured a DVD reader? I have it right here. And all it cost me was 1 cup of coffee. Good, that should only take a moment. Ansel disappears behind the ancient display. After a few moments of fiddling with the battered inputs, he appears with a satisfied look on his face. Everything appears to be functional. The disc should be ready to play. Don't keep us in suspense. Start the damn thing already. Went to the trouble of fetching everything. Let's let her do the honors. Give the person who has no idea what this technology is or how it works the honors of putting it together. Alright, fair enough. Just back and clear the path for you to access the antique machine. Soft whirring sound fills the air of the ancient DVD player, spins the disc up to speed. The scratched LCD display comes to life and the menu screen fills the screen. Screen goes black and a cheerful digital chiming sound spills out of the display speakers. A crackle of static fills the air, coupled with a shrill electronic whine. For a few moments the display goes live and a disheveled looking man appears on the screen. His eyes glitter with excitement. The timestamp on the screen is 2034-9:15. Adrienne Vauclair. Hermie, I think we found her. After all this time. Firschring. I knew she wasn't dead. His speech is jittery. You can hear the urgency in his voice. She survived the Dragonfall, just as I always said. I knew it. I was right. screen explodes into static, and the electronic whine in the background sharpens into a needle-like pulse of high-pitched sound. Somewhere in the background, Dante lets out a low whimper. The screen clears, and the excited face is closer to the screen than it was before. The words spill out of him in the breathless tide. Taking a team into the SOX to retrieve her. The radiation be damned. We will take appropriate precautions, of course, but we must go. Hermie, I think the body may be nearby as well. Somehow she has survived for all this time. Well, was a dragon, specifically a great dragon, and the specifics of how great dragons work in Shadowrun are just, I mean, kind of hard to think about when you think about it. Screen explodes into static again, then clears, figure flickers across the screen. May not be back for some time. Look after Mom, okay? I worry about her. And Hermie, stay safe out there. I know that things are heating up in Berlin, and I know you. Student protests, civil unrest, you'll be in the middle of it, and I'm sure. Just stay safe, all right? I'll do my best to do the same. I don't know what's going to happen when I step into the SOX, but I do know one thing. If the Firewing is still in danger, I will put an end to her, once and for all. One lady finds herself deposited on the menu of the back at the menu screen. Act 2! Screen goes black for a moment, then a figure appears on the screen. Your late client, Green Winters. His elbow is planted on the table and he is seated in his chin. His chin rests on his palm. The other hand is wrapped around a bottle of cheap whiskey. The timestamp of the video, 2053-1225. Hey, Christmas! Found the message Adrian left me all those years ago. Got it cleaned up as best I could. Strange hearing his voice again. He pauses to take a long pull of the bottle. It's good to hear him, even if he did insist on calling me Hermie. Dr. Adrian Vauclair, the hero of the people, the Dragon Slayer, my brother. Hard to believe it's been almost 20 years. Alright, so I'm going to start recording these DVDs again. For me, for Adrian, for whoever might wind up watching them. Every time I do this, it winds up feeling like a waste of time, but I keep doing it anyway, and off the chance that I'll find something important. If I stumble into the clue that leads me to my brother, I know that I'm going to want to film. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now, after all. No sense in quitting now. Christ. 20 years, all this time, there's still no leads. With all of my contacts and my resources, he takes a long swallow of a cheap liquor. Even with my legendary bullheadedness, I've made no progress at all. I haven't turned up a single goddamn thing. Hey, this should have been Ghost damn thing. I'll try to fix that in the future. Want to hear something funny? The closest I've gotten to the clue was a rumor. Apparently a team emerged from the SOX a while back. Nobody's clear on the date, but get this. He leans in his camera and gives a conspiratorial wink. Supposedly, they vanished without a trace. He upends the bottle, drains it, slams it back down on the table, and his eyes rimmed with red. Not much of a rumor, considering I already know that you're gone, big brother. I live with that every day. Abruptly, Winters leans forward and reaches for something on screen. The display goes black. A few seconds later, main menu returns. There's a grinding sound of the DVD tray, and the Green Winters image appears on the screen. There is an eager look on his face. The timestamp of the video is 2054-1012. Stumbled upon the archival footage of Ferschwing's original attack, months before the Dragonfall. Easy to forget how devastating it was. Adrian saved a lot of people by bringing her down. I've got the footage all queued up to play. Starting it now. Additional comments to follow. The slow whine of the DVD shifts to a high-pitched whine. A disoriented, wavering image blooms into the being on the screen. A timestamp in the upper corner of the screen marks the date, July 6, 2012. It's difficult to make out what you're seeing. The first scene is dark and smoky, and telltale flashes of emergency vehicle lights flicker off on the periphery of the screen. The camera pushes in and you can make out two figures standing in the ruined landscape. All at once, the sound cuts in. Again, those of you joining us, we are coming to you live from Stolberg. A few hours ago, the Dragon Fürschwing launched an unprovoked attack on this sleepy Harz mountain town. As you can see, the results behind me: fire, ashes, and blood. We are joined tonight by survivors of this latest and most horrifying attack. The reporter turns to face a man standing behind him. Sir, I understand that you've been through a terrible ordeal. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us tonight. The camera switches to a middle-aged man with a haunted look in his eyes, stammers out a reply. Yes, of course. If you could, sir, could you please tell us people about your whole experience with the attack? It was horrible, just pure chaos. So many people are dead, people I know, roasted alive or trampled to death trying to escape. My own house was burned to the ground during the attack. My family, we have nothing now. You made it out through the attack, though? Your wife, your kid? Yeah, we made it, thank Ghost. We rode out the attack in a small shelter, me, my wife, and our 2 daughters. The shelter has protected us, but the heat was just unbearable. We could have stayed there much longer than we did. How long were you holed up in there? 3, maybe 4 hours. I don't know. We just stayed inside until the heat died down and the screaming stopped. And what happened after that? When it was over, you know, the air cooled down. The reporter nodded and the man continues. We stepped outside. There was nothing left, just smoldering wreckage and the dense cloud of black, oily smoke and the stench in their air. Ghost, it smelled. It smelled like roasting meat. There was a long pause for a moment, the tortured look in his face. You could tell that the man is struggling to decide whether or not to continue speaking. Eventually he does. My girls, they found what was left of their nanny outside. Her body, what was left of it, was slumped against the sheltered door. I keep telling myself I couldn't hear her pounding it to get in, but that isn't true. I could. I just couldn't bring myself to open the door. I couldn't risk my family like that. Not for her, not for anyone. Thank you, sir, for taking the time to speak with us. Yeah. You heard it here, the absolute chilling account of tonight's attack. Again, the town of Stolberg has been reduced to the ash, another victim of the Firewing. Stay with us for more up-to-the-minute reporting on the Fürschwing's reign of terror. Winter's face reappears on the screen. Okay, so for our new approach, Adrian's complete dead end. That much pretty clear now, so I'm going to do something on Fürschwing instead. Let's see how this goes. Ah! DVD player ramps up to speed, filling the air with still whirling sound. Ray Winter's image appears on the screen. Timestamp data says 2054 1031. Halloween! Yay! Well, that was a bust. Little progress. Fair shrinks either. Shakes his head. I don't know, it was weird. The information is there, just wrong. Somehow too well laid out, too simple. Real life is messy and this feels just too neat. That's not the only thing that nagged me. I'm getting the tingly feeling up and down the back of my neck again. It feels like I'm being tracked. I'm no Matrix hotshots like Clockwork or Schaefer, but I'm good enough to know someone's on my set. Gotta install new security measures, can't be too careful. Image displays. A few seconds later, the main menu returns. Display goes black for a moment. Then the face of Green Winters winks on screen. He is seated at the computer off to his left. An enormous monitor fills the screen. His voice carries the edge of panic. The timestamp on the video is 11/9/2054. Oh yeah. Of course it is. Christ, I'm getting too close to something. There's a trail of bodies and there have been disappearances. Gearbox, Marcia, Peregrine, they've all disappeared within the past few years. Gearbox just went AWOL yesterday, and we're all making for the same sorts of inquiries about Firewing. That I've been. There are ghost stories spreading around the Decker community, stories about Deckers disappearing and then showing up again later, but wrong somehow. Scary stuff. I'm starting to think that's true. Let's leave the whisper you. I know the stories you're talking about, Chief. Never really put stock in them, not until now. Could these rumors be related to what's happening here? Am I being paranoid? He pauses for a moment as if nervously considering the question, and then he shakes his head and slams out his fist on the table. No, I don't think so. Something big is happening here, and I'm right in the middle of it. It's a bit of a leap. One other thing. Tolstoy told me the story about a kill team that might be related to all of this. Apparently a doctor named Helibor posted a theory about Fairschwing on the Shadowlands BBS about 5 years ago. About an hour later, a mil-spec team showed up in the meat space and cooked her entire apartment with her in it. If that's what Tolstoy told, if what Tolstoy told me is true, Helibor lived post the events she described her killer, the great big orc with skin grass. Then the whole thread disappeared, gone without a trace. Leap. Eager love? Sounds like that he is on the right track to me. Eager holds her silence, but concedes the point with a small nod. On the screen, Winters pauses. He looks like he worked up something. Finally, he speaks. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. There has to be Fairschwing, all of it. Adrian was right about her. She's still alive, and she's out of the SOX. She's covering her tracks, working with the shadows, preparing to rise again. And that means I have to find you, Adrian, for everyone's sake. Thankfully, I've got leads, for the first time in 2 decades. A solid goddamn lead. I've backtraced all of the Matrix nodes that Helibor was looking into before she got cooked. Whoever has been purging the Matrix didn't think about that, and I found that she turned up. Winter stabs a few keys on his keyboards, and the image expands to fill the screen as monitor. A satellite photo of the rural landscape annotated with GPS data. A set of map coordinates. So now I've got a target. A place that starts digging. The Harfeld Manor. Conveniently located on an isolated stretch of countryside, miles away from prying eyes. Matrix structures indicate that some of the data vault exists beneath the estate, so that's what I need to get into. And this is where we came in. As if on cue, an image blinks on the screen monitor to Winter's left, Monica. I think I'm going to tap Schaefer for this job. She's got the skills to bypass whatever security they're running out there, and she's gullible enough to take the job in the first place. I'll feed her some line about a flux state security, and she'll eat it up with a spoon. I warned her. Angela's voice is choked with rage. I warned her. On the display, Winter's mouth parts into a broad grin. Time to put plans into motion. By this time tomorrow night, I should have the information I need, and on an off chance the Schaefer gets taken out, well, they'll tell me something too. Can't make an omelet without all that. Until then, Winter's image disappears and display goes black. A few seconds later, so you're the one that killed my girlfriend, okay? The player 6-track small video appears. You recognize the screen in Winters. You are looking at the tattered drapes and nicotine-stained wallpaper of Winter's hotel room at Das Kesselhaus. The timestamp of the video reads 10:54:10. 11:54 or 20:54 11:10. Blur of motion on the screen hangered from the green from Winter enters. Suspicious confirmed. Schaefer is dead. Christ. Winter searches, shaking his head off camera. A moment later, in return, is clutching a cheap plastic drinking glass. He gulps something down and wipes his mouth with the back of his hand and takes a deep breath. Okay. Back up, slow down, start from the beginning. Winters closes his eyes and makes a visible effort to calm himself. When he speaks again, his voice is steady. Got the call from my contact in the crew bazaar. Schaefer killed on the estate run. Matrix security at the estate cooked her brain. Considering Schaefer's skills and experience on site, IC must have been extreme. Even by Berlin standards. Security with that kind of costs money. Real money. Given the evidence uncovered so far, corporate involvement unlikely. The connection to the fire wing is too strong. So let's come right out to say it. The dragon is what we're dealing with here. And the smart money says she's coming for me next. Well, I won't go down without a fight. I still won't. I still got my contacts, I still got my connections. And the flux state can be a hell of a weapon for a man who knows how to manipulate it. Winters takes another long pull from his glass and swallows. Time to make my plan. Ghost stories or no, missing Deckers or no, I've got to jack into the Matrix and start pulling strings. Countermeasures that I've installed earlier should be more than enough to keep me safe for the 20 minutes I'll be in there. Winters drains the rest of his glass and tosses it back over his shoulder. A moment later, you hear a dull clattering of sound in the hard plastic ammonium. Schaefer's death was tragic. She was a staunch supporter of the estate. But still, all things considered. Winters fishes something off screen. A moment later, his hand appears clutching a dad-jacket cable. Better her than me. He plugs into the cable in the head and the screen cuts to static. Eject the DVD. Figuring out the eject button, black screen clicks into static, and a moment later, Green Winter's haggard face appears. If you're watching this, then I guess they caught up to me. They will be after you too now. Well, there's that, I guess. What the hell is this? Why didn't you warn me about this before I came here? Not now, Blizz. Wherever you are, whatever you think you're after, you need to find Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Not because he's my brother, because if Fair Schwing is rising, he is the only one who can stop her. You've seen what happens to people who get too close to this. I'm dead and dozens of others have died. You'll be next, unless you can find Adrian. DVD tray cuts to black, the message is over, the DVD tray slides out of the reader. The room goes quiet as everyone struggles to process what you just seen on the DVD. Finally, Dietrich breaks the silence. A dragon. Son of a bitch. Green Winter sets up us up against a dragon. The Firewing. She lives. Earlier starting to regret the fact that I didn't just stay at the hotel. Wait a second. We don't know for certain. The evidence seemed pretty convincing to me, love. I'll even take it a step further. I think that the secret facility that we were stumbled into was her lair. The room falls silent. Igor and Glory exchange glances. After a moment, Dietrich continues. Just think about it. The Decker that Winter got these coordinates from was posting about Firewing. Then, she was killed by that same orc bastard and attacked us after Monica died. That's a direct link between the dragon, the scarred orc, and the Hartfell matter. And then Winters was killed by the same thing that killed Monica. Exactly. My gut tells me that the dragon is down there, Cassier, someplace beneath the surface. I think that we knocked on the door of her lair without even knowing it, and I think that given that we've seen the dragon, we'll do whatever it takes to keep this quiet about it. Okay, going on the assumption that there is a dragon, and that she will come after us, what do you propose we do about it? So what we're going to do, we're going to go follow Winter's advice, and we're going to find Vauclair. Yes. Sarah's right. Finding Dr. Vauclair should be our priority. If we're going up against the dragon, we need to find ourselves a dragon slayer. Winter spent 20 years searching for Vauclair and it got him nowhere. Why do you propose we find him? With the help of the information broker. Yes. Back to the coffee shop. For this? No. Well, Herr Berkagzi is very capable of tasks of magnitude beyond him. We need to make contact with a premier information broker in Berlin. We need to talk to Alice. Alice, best of luck. I hope you're that rich. For this, rich enough. Only even if only just. Who is this Alice? A prominent figure in Berlin's shadow community. Ex-Schockenwallenreiter. Provider information and retrieve services for the estate. Amsel turns to the computer console behind him and runs his fingers through a virtual keyboard. The machine begins to run. If Winters is right, if Vauclair is still alive, she can help us find him. Console spits out the stack back and Amsel plucks it from the computer and hands it to you. Here, you speak with Alice. A cred stick? An encoded cred stick, yes. 10,000 yuan. Alice will not show her face for less. This represents the last of my personal savings, Cassier. Make this meeting count. Where do I need to go? Talk to the U-Bahn to Alstad Spandu. There you will find a connecting tube that refers to as the rabbit hole. You will find a method of contacting Alice there. Don't call it that in front of her, though. The word on the street is she hates it. Please hurry while you're out. And we'll work on acquiring new contacts with them. Alice is the best there is in what she does, and her services will carry a price tag to match. Alright. only active console is delicate, derelict span of the U-Bahn as the platform is an old video arcade machine. CRT monitor set in the machine's cabinet glows, inviting the cheerfully complex pixelated graphics swirl and dance on the screen. Oh hey, I found Polybius! At the base of the controller panel, you'll find a cleverly hidden input port. The port is shrouded in black plastic and appears to the approximate shape of a typical cred stick. Put the cred stick in there. Internal motors grip the cred stick and pull it into the machine. It disappears through the port and the screen goes black. Moments later, a video game image fills the screen. The pictures are dark and grainy, a far cry from the bright, colorful sprite that previously inhabited the display. On the screen is a dimly lit office. The place looks like it was pulled straight from the old detective movies, from the Venetian blinds on the windows and the great swaths of shadow that paint the walls black. Center stage, sitting behind a large mahogany desk, is the silhouette of an impressive-looking woman in a charcoal gray suit. The tip of the cigarette glows cherry red in the shadows. She leans forward into the light, and you can catch her first glimpse of Alice. Her face is hard planes and sculpted angles, with high cheekbones and almond eyes. Her lips are painted a frigid blue, but the look in her eyes is even cooler. A head full of lustrous black hair is interspersed with flowing streams of cyan light. Alice exhales a plume of smoke in the tips of her cigarette into the nearby ashtray. She fixes her eyes on you and her lips curl into a humorless smile. We're on your dime, friend. Tell me what you're looking for. You need to find someone. You need to find someone for me. Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Dragon Slayer? Interesting. Been missing a long time. Yes, he has. The question is, can you find him? She looks at you and her eyes, the smile disappears, her voice is blissful. If he's out there somewhere, I'll find him for you. He could be living under an assumed name in California Free State, and I'd still track him down. And if he's not alive, I'll tell you where you can find his corpse. Alright, I'm satisfied. Let's talk about the job. Alright, here's how this is going to work. When you give me the go-ahead, I'm going to start gathering information for you. Once I've finished, you're going to bring me a cred stick and encoded with the encryption that key. I'll provide you with the cred stick. You have I'll provide you. The cred stick will have 50,000 yuan on it. When I get my cred stick, you get your information. This is the deal. Take it or leave it. All right, you've got a deal. Okay, but remember, you say go, I go. From that point on, you're on the hook to pay my fee. No turning back, no refunds. Are we square on this? Yeah, we're square. Good. I'll be in touch. Screen goes black moments later. The machine reboots. The colorful sprites that you saw when you first approached arcade cabinet return. There is nothing more to see here. Alice is gone. Wow. Man, Polybius wasn't all it was cracked up to be. Yeah, I did. Did you make contact with Alice? Yes, I did. She accepted your payment, and I ordered to search for the information we need. Very good. I can't imagine this will be cheap. What's Alice's standard price? Regarding that count, 50,000 yuan. It's about as I expected. Thankfully, we are prepared for this. I have checked with a number of new clients. We can find information of the jobs logged into your mission computer. One jobs file is on there already. While working on Alice's fee, I will continue to dig about clues about Feuerschwing. If she is in fact roosting under the Hartfeld Manor, then there must be some evidence supporting the fact. A dragon is a large thing to hide after all. Be careful, Paul. Remember what happened to Monica. I will never forget. Don't worry, Kassir. I'm going to conduct my investigation the old-fashioned way, through contacts and deductions and careful observation. I will not dig into the Matrix until this entire story episode is finished. Speaking of doing things for the old-fashioned way, Millet is working on the recovered information off those DVDs. It's a painstaking process and will no doubt be quick, but she is optimistic that she will be successful in time. Finally, I've been checking on our friend, the orc, with the skin grass. I haven't heard anything back yet, but I'll keep you appraised of the situation. Sounds good, Paul. Go check over the jobs. One last thing, before you go, Kassir, Samuel Brackenauer wanted to pass a message to you. Do you know him? York runs the shelter across the way. You met? Well, he has a job for you. He wouldn't discuss it with me, but he promised that it would prove worth your time. Alright. Need something? You can't have started running in the shadows much more than 5 years ago. Tops. So what's with the vintage chrome? That's what I've been just telling you out of context. If we want to get into it, we're going to need to get back. Way back. Say that you're going to give me answers, so we'll talk about your past. So let's talk about it. Why do you care? Because I'm leading this team and I need to know as much as I can about the runners who are working for me. Working with me. Alright, fine, we can talk. But you're doing it on my terms. This is a long story, Kassir. We're long, ugly, and cruel. You sure you want to hear this? Please. Alright, I'm going to start at the beginning. Not for me, not for you, for me. I guess it might help when I say all this out loud. My family lived in Stuttgart. It was a nice enough place, I suppose. My parents worked as wage slaves for IFMU. Well, Mom was a good person. Once upon a time, my father was a decent person as well. That was what my mom always told me, but I never knew him that way. She pauses for a long moment, then begins to speak again. Some of the ice has fallen away from her voice. For the first time since you met her, Glory sounds alive. The dad I knew was an old, damaged Euro-war vet who turned to hard-line religion to make sense of the world. In Stuttgart, that meant either the Ritter Christi or the fascist cousins, the Cruiserites. My father chose the latter path. I still remember hiding in my room when my father had his Cruiserites brothers over for prayer group. They would drink and get rowdy, and then spend an hour or two rallying themselves up with talk about heretics and the devil's work. They'd then go find some poor elf, dwarf, stomp the living shit out of him. Stomp the living dreck out of him, and drown him in the nectar. Meanwhile, I'd be holed up at home with Mom, who would commemorate the event by drinking a bottle of wine and crying herself to sleep. Elves, dwarves, I'd assume the manager or an orc would make a more tempting target. You mean you want to pick on the victim who could fight back? Makes sense. No, my father and his pack of jackals weren't up for that kind of trouble. They'd be more than enough for real combat when they were young men, back in the Euro War. They just wanted to feel big in control of their lives again. It didn't matter to them who they hurt in their process. Anyway, aside from the fact that my dad and his buddies were a bunch of murderous hoopholes, life was pretty normal. I went to school, made friends, hung out with my mom, kid stuff. Then I turned 14 and everything went to shit. Went to dreck. Glory pauses and swallows hard. Ever so slightly, her cheek flushes red. Suddenly, she looks self-conscious as she'd been snapped out of a trance. As quickly as it came, the flush of emotion disappears. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Airing this stuff out is clearly helping you work through it. Yes, it is, but I'm not going to be able to get through this one sitting. You need to understand that. I do understand that. Now let's get back to the job at hand, shall we? Ego turns to face you. Look, I owe an apology. I'm listening. When Monica died, I was pissed. It probably wasn't come as a huge surprise, but I took the anger out on you, and that shouldn't have. Seeing Winter's body like that was enough to convince me you couldn't have done anything to help Monica, and I couldn't have either. We're dealing with something new. Monica was a good friend of mine. Her death hurt. I got carried away and it said some things that I shouldn't have. I want to apologize for that. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. There are a few things that I want to say. I accept your apology, but if you ever insult me in front of the team again, you're going to regret it. That's a promise. Some backbone. That's good to see. Don't worry, Kassir. I won't question your competence again, not in front of the others at least. I won't lie to you. I still have concerns about you. It's your prerogative, but don't forget who leads the team. What kind of concerns? Basic ones. I don't want to see history repeat itself. You won't. This team is going to succeed, with or without you. Or what history are you talking about? We're not going into it, fearless leader. Let's just say I've had bad luck with unexplained teammates, and leave it at that. You should go, fearless leader, or prep work to do, or next run, or got more important things than watch my pack. Yeah. Hey boss, what can I do for you? How you holding up? You seem to take Monica's death harder than the others did. Dietrich shakes his head, wistful expression, then on his face. Nah, no harder, but I'm less buttoned up than the others. E-girl will never let herself show any weakness. And Glory? Well, she's too full of trouble to feel much of anything. Me? I don't give a damn. Spent too much of my life putting on a show for others. Already. What do you mean by that? I used to front a punk band way back when. Believe it or not, I spent a pretty good chunk of my life on stage. Whenever we weren't playing, I was living up to our fans' expectations. Spouting off, getting into fights, getting drunk, getting laid. Not a bad life, all things considered. Wait, you can sing? He regards you with a critical eye. I was the front man of a punk band, boss. Fuck no, I can't. I did it again. Frag no, I can't sing. But it wasn't half bad at rallying up the crowds. What was your band called? Maybe I've heard of it. Oh yeah, the boss. We never really got any airplay. Spit it out, old man. All right, boss, if you insist. The band was called Messerkampf, spelled just like it sounds. Big capital. Oh, sorry. Messerkampf, spelled just like it sounds. In big capital letters with an excitement exclamation point. We weren't big act or anything. We sold a few records and here or there and toured around Europe. We had a decent following in England, and we holed up in London from 31 to 36, but most of our time slumming it around East End and picked up enough cockney to irritate the folks back home. He shakes his head. Truth be told, the whole chapter of my life was a bit of a blur. We didn't do it for the fans or the fame. We sure didn't. As Drek didn't do it for didn't care about the money. All that mattered to us was staying young and drunk and angry. He takes a moment to examine the gnarled hands and smell his face. We managed a second too. Good God, where has the time gone? Well, anyway, boss, everything ends eventually, and I smashed my hands all over this years ago. Wash my hands all over this years ago. So let's change the subject, if you don't mind. How'd you go from being a band to running the shadows? Wasn't believe as you'd think. I already had a healthy disrespect for authority, and I had the magic to back it up. One nice thing about the shamanism: as long as you keep your idol happy, it doesn't matter what else you do. The regulator chose me as a servant, and as always I was scrapping with someone bigger than me, he didn't much care whether I was on stage or in the shadows. Tell me about the Dragon Slayer. Not much to tell. He chose me when I was a kid. I couldn't always feel him in my heart, goaded me to laugh louder, hit harder, and get rowdier than the rest. Of course, my family didn't understand, but the hell with them. I thought I knew I was destined for greater things. I listened to him, and I cracked the skulls of a lot of bad people. He saw this, was pleased, and was rewarded with magic. I used the magic to crack bigger, thicker skulls, and so on. It was a simple life, but a good one. Take it easy, boss. You look down at a pair of bright eyes you ever seen, a scruffy face looking back up at you. Dante, Monica's old dog. Looking down at those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. Something instinctively level, he must know that his master is gone. Dante lets out a small whine and rubs his head against you. Pet him! Sit. Play dead. Sit. Play dead. Pet him. Blitz looks up at your approach. Table beside him, littered cigarette butts and data jack cables. Dangles from the portable terminal set up by his side. Hey, Chief, you need something? Checking in. Doing all right? Great, Chief. Doing just great. Real nice to be able to wind down and relax for a change. No more worrying about this ganger or that ganger sneaking up behind me and slipping a knife between my ribs. That's able with a grin. It's a good change, Chief, I gotta say. No one's ever really safe. Not when gangers are involved. Don't let your guard down. Smile widens and taps his chest. You can see the outline of a machine pistol through the leather jacket. You underestimate me, Chief. I never let my guard down. Not even here. All settled. I got some questions for you. Now that you settled in, I got a question for you. Looks like this wistfully back at the terminal on the table and turns back to his center register. Suppose we're trying to keep it short. Okay, Chief, I got things to do. How long were you in Dragonfall? In the end, I ended up there just after the anarchist revolution of '39. I was just a kid back then, too young to realize how good I was, how much money I could have made working in the shadows. And so, being young and dumb, I fell in with the gang crowd, and that was that. You were a member of drug gang. Why should I trust you? Why wouldn't you, Chief? I mean, just look at me. I'm a trustworthy guy. What about the gang you ran with? Prove it. Well, I don't know all that much, Chief. I wasn't a member of the gang leadership or anything. I'm not really sure why you can care either. Consider it a test. You need to know where your loyalties lie. He rolls his eyes. If that's what it'll take for you to trust me, fine. Anything for you, Chief. Where to begin? When I first arrived at Dragonfall, I spent some time taking the lay of the land. The Schwarzer-Herzen were still pretty small gang and strictly street level, but I could see what they were going places. I did a little pro bono decking for their leader and a fat little dwarf named Dieter. Soon enough, I was a part of the family. For a drug game, Schwarzer-Herzen were decent enough folks. I mean, made a lot of money with them, helped them take the hotel in the first place. We had a lot of good years in there. Then Dieter was killed in a firefight, and your happy little family fell apart. When was it the hotel got attacked? Or was that when the hotel got attacked? Dang it. Takes a deep breath, shifts his weight from one more foot to the other. Not exactly. The Schwarzer-Herzen maintained their hold on the Dragon Coat, but the change of leadership was bad news for me. After Dieter kicked the bucket, his second in command took over. She was a real piece of work. Called herself Leonie Luster. She had a vicious streak a mile long and was none too fond of me. I can't imagine why not. I know. What's not to like? Maybe she felt threatened by my friendship with Dieter back before he ate that bullet. Or maybe she was just jealous of my rugged good looks. Who the hell knows? The point is, she went after me vigorously. Within 24 hours of Dieter's death, I had a price on my head, and then the hotel got taken over. So that's when you know about the Schwarzer-Herzen. They were a great gang, a powerful gang. I helped to make them be that way. Then they had management overturned, and everything went to hell. That's it. The end of the story. Anything else you want to talk about? That isn't it. There's some pretty big holes in that story. Come on, Chief. This is all ancient history. Wouldn't you rather talk about the future, the runs we go on, and the money we're going to make? Tell me what happened between Luster putting the price on your head and the hotel getting attacked. All right, Chief, fine. If that's what you want, I'll make it happen. So I was in a bind, right? The members of the Schwarzer-Herzen were loyal to the Luster and were all out for my blood, and none of the others were going to stick their necks out for me. Advantage of being a ganger is protection of the numbers. With those numbers turned against you, you've got to be creative if you want to stay alive. What did you do? Well, what I had to. Luster had declared war on me, so I retaliated, and I won. And without ever firing a shot. It's not an answer. Go beside how I spell it, will you? Okay, fine. I hacked into Luster's computer and sent an all of her information to the rival organization. Remember Frank from the hotel? He was my liaison. They hit the Schwartz Herzen, and they hit him hard. Then they took the hotel, and they took me. I'll bet that plan with that fire limb. Did what you had to do to survive the place. Personally, been doing the same. Thanks, Chief. I knew you'd understand. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get back to what I was doing. He gives you a lazy salute. Well, we'll talk later, Chief, and I'm glad to be a member of the team. Uh-huh. Until you try to rat me out, in which case, I'll geek you. We'll talk to this guy next time. I guess he'd save the game. Something to worry about later. But yeah. Yeah. Got some more accomplished, got that whole hotel thing done, talked to people, found out this guy's crazy, that guy's a thing, and there might be a dragon involved. Which, you know, is never good. So yeah, hopefully we'll get things more figured out next time. Until then, thank you for stopping in.